Om Shanti. Namaste to you all. I am here sitting in Brahma Kumaris. My first time in India, learning a lot of things, growing in spirituality. I am a Christian and I write books as well about faith, and I carry my life about faith from different sources. I never despise any source of wisdom in reaching spiritual growing and into the union with God. So here in Brahma Kumaris I have learned a lot about the main principles, the virtues, the peace, love, happiness, willpower, the knowledge, the bliss, especially the love, of course, and all the powers that those virtues lead to, as in the power of pack up, the power of withdrawal, the power to accommodate, the power to tolerate, cooperate, and all that. All those virtues linked with the powers. It has been really beautiful with them. Now I'm about to start my trip for the second half of the trip in the north of India, in Rishikesh, where I'm going to continue in spiritual growing and doing some social work, as I'm doing here as well, in volunteering and in the branch of education, and there I suppose in the branch of poverty. And I am so happy with everything I have learned here, and I say my motto in life is God-dedicated selfless actions performed in true and honest devotion. And that is exactly what you learn here in Brahma Kumaris, as well as you learn in Bhagavad Gita or in the Upanishads or in the Bible, in the New Testament, and so many other books like the Tao Te Ching. To me, they're all in the essence is the same. We grow, we live in God, we live with God, we live for God, and that makes us so happy, just because we know everything we do for the others, with the love of God, sharing what we have, sharing our knowledge, sharing our love, sharing our happiness, sharing our wisdom, which is so important. Not charity is only about giving some money to some people in need. It's about sharing our knowledge, discussing, just sharing the different opinions or different perspectives we have about what we don't know about afterlife or the cycles or the spirals, discussions that we have had in a very beautiful way, especially with Sister Soumya, that has been so enlightening and elevating for me. Really beautiful person, like everyone here in Brahma Kumaris. And it's a never-ending learning process, which is the beauty of it, that you never stop learning. So what is it all about actually? It's about remembrance, having God in our mind, in our soul, in our thoughts, in our actions, in our relationships with the society, in fulfilling our duties, not just dropping our duties and go out and go into a cave to meditate for the rest of our lives. No, sharing everything we do in our work, in our families, in our friendships with God, having God in all of our acts, in all of our decisions. That has no price. It's absolutely priceless, because life turns into a work of art in the most amazing sense of the expression of a work of art. Life can be a work of art for each and every one of us if we have God inside, we live for God, and we carry on in our eternal search. And who is God? God is everything for me. God is the everything. Is what we are in image, not physically, but in our souls. God is the light, mainly the light. God is the one and the only one that can give us all these virtues. We receive all these virtues of love, happiness, willpower, all those I mentioned before, only through God, and just through God. So everything good that we have inside and that we receive from others or from nature or from anything, you name it, comes from God. Never the bad things. The bad things are only the consequence of our own acts, and you know a lot, I'm sure, about the karma. But it's always the beauty of our existence. That is God, is our Father. And how can a Father give us something different than everything that is good for us? Think about it. It's impossible. No Father would do that for anyone. So just think about God in Him all the time, in every moment of your life, as what you want to be in image. And that would be so easy to behave in life, just thinking that I just want to be the image of God. Not only I just want to be, I am made at His image. And at His image, everything I can do, everything I can share is good, it's love, it's happiness, it's peace, it's growing, it's getting to the perfection, day by day. One of the most beautiful things that you learn in Brahma Kumaris, as well as in many other sources, but is that you really get conscious of that you are not a body that holds a soul, you are a soul that has a body. So it's the soul that leads the body. It's like the Atman. It's like you read in the Upanishads and you read in the Bhagavad Gita as well. You read that in the Gospels as well. Is you have to be in the spirit, not in the body. Detachment is very important. Without detachment from the material world, it's impossible to grow because you are trapping your soul in your body, and it would be all in contrary. The soul has to be the powerful meaning and the powerful direction of the body. The soul rules the body. The soul belongs to God because the soul world belongs to exclusively to God, and that's the only way that you can rule your life according to God. Living, and that's a very beautiful lesson you learn in Brahma Kumaris, living in soul consciousness, not in body consciousness. To me, that has been one of the most beautiful reflections that then you find in any other scripture. Then when you hear Jesus saying, it's the time for living in spirit and truth, it's that, exactly that. Live according to your soul, not according to your body. Just let your soul rule every part of your life, every part of your body. And then you are with God, not with your body, with your soul. And so the power of knowledge, it's one of the most important things of these 7 virtues that we have to have. Well, these 7 virtues are not actually only 7 virtues. One of them, each one of them, it divides into a lot of branches like forgiveness and charity and all that. That all it's included into love, for example. But knowledge is one of the virtues that maybe many people don't pay much attention to. And it's extremely important. In my particular case, everyone has his own ways, but in my particular case, I get up every day at 5 in the morning. First 2 hours I do is studying, because studying is so important. Every day I learn more, or I simply confirm all my beliefs, all my strengths, all the things I want to do in life get confirmed by all these books, by the Bible, by the Tao Te Ching, by these books I'm reading in Brahma Kumaris, by the Bhagavad Gita, about all those books. The Upanishads are so beautiful. So if you don't read, if you don't get someone to teach you, if you're not made for reading or studying, everybody is different, I understand. But really, you're missing the big thing. Because how can you evolve without knowledge? Knowledge is so important that without it, it's very difficult to develop the other virtues and the powers that those virtues give to you. Like, for example, discriminating, deciding, discerning what is good and what is bad. In this thing I'm going to do for someone now, is it going to please God? Is it going to please myself? Is it going to please that person? Or am I doing precisely all in contrary? Am I sowing a seed of discomfort, of anger, of greed, between that person and myself, or between my job and myself, all that should be determined and discriminated through knowledge, as well as that power of judgment that you have with knowledge. How can you have power of judgment? And I mean judgment, judging yourself, not the others. You are not the one to judge the others, because everyone is playing their role in this drama, as they call it in Brahma Kumaris. I laugh a lot because we've had quite a few discussions about that. But without knowledge, how can you judge yourself? Are you having the right behavior or the right thoughts? Are you creating the right thoughts for that situation? Because it's your thoughts that are going to lead you to an action. And if you are not capable to discern and to judge yourself in that behavior, you're possibly going to do it wrong. Maybe not intentionally. I still believe that most of the people are good and not evil. But ignorance is your worst enemy. Believe me, your worst enemy. Many kings and many exploiters in the history of the world have taken advantage of ignorance to exploit the people. So don't be ignorant. Get as much knowledge as you can. Om Shanti. Namaste.